I don't think he ends up killing anybody, but it's like, but the suspense is like, it's like, oh, who the fuck is this kid gonna kill before it's over with? So, I don't know. Had I been in my, at any other time, I would have been that kid,
right?
And I would have been the kid to kill somebody.
It would have been you, 8 years old, using the back of it to hammer some nails into something.
Shot myself. Come in the room with a hole in my hand, looking like Jesus and shit. Ouch! Mama. I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. No matter what happens, motherfucker missing a hand. I didn't do nothing.
How did you do that? Oh no. Well, why did you open that? Oh no.
Yeah, because I remember if I would have lost my hand, my mom was like, "You put it back on yourself. I don't care how you do it. You shouldn't have been messing around anyway." All right. But I remember going and telling my mom. It was like one of those tender moments in a TV movie or something. Cause I took the gun. I was like, "Ma, what's this?" She's like, "Oh shit, my baby found a fucking gun." Like, what thing you found a fuck? I'm trying to eat some cereal to get a spoon eater with. Instead, I found a fucking 38 special. The fuck you think? Of course I find it. I have to be goddamn Encyclopedia Brown not to find this shit. No kid genius. That's what he's on Frosted Flakes. But she took it and she got rid of it. I don't know what she did with it.
Yeah.
Threw that shit out the window. Hear the neighbor. Oh! But she got rid of it. I think she pawned it or something and just kind of like, yeah, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Yeah. I was like, maybe it was a good idea. Maybe it would have been a better idea to like put it in a safe or a place where a kid can't reach it. Maybe, but she said that. I can tell. And I think she knew. She's like, yeah, I will do something crazy with this one day. I better get rid of this. I imagine her mind, some scenario worked out, like where she tried to like shoot my father, and maybe I was like, no, and jumped in front of the bullet.
Little did she realize how completely unlikely that was.
Yeah. But in her mind, made her get rid of doing that shit. No. My baby. But yeah, man, all that talk about family, and I don't know whose side of the family is. There's not the Coleman name isn't in there. My mother's maiden name isn't in there.
Wait, you went to a family reunion that didn't have either your parents' name in it?
But I know, no. My cousin was there. My cousin Gary and my aunt Mamie. Back.
And you should have said in somebody else's family reunion that they just crashed and brought you along too.
No, I've been to a couple. I know some of the people there. But some of the people I didn't even know I was related to. Like there was one dude I went to high school with, a couple of years older than I am. Turns out him and I are related. So yeah, man, I don't know what the fuck. Apparently people fuck the shit out of each other in Waco. It's all.
I just see you like talking to your cousin like, oh shit, man, you got to hide me from that girl over there. I had sex with her 3 years ago. Wait, that's your cousin Angie. What are you talking about?
Just get on the floor. But yeah, it was a lot more fun than I thought. But that's the problem with family reunion like that, like where you don't know nobody, because I would go in there and have to catch myself like, damn, girl, that girl is fine, right? The fuck, man, I'm probably related to her. I can't do that. Shit, It was even this woman. There's this woman, though, I was hanging out, and this is going to be such a Corey moment, I know, and I'm not even trying to get a joke here, but I ain't going to lie. There was this.
What's the point in lying at this point?
What is the point? But there was this woman, and she was the sister of my cousin's wife.
Okay. And by Kentucky standards, you're not even related.
No, we're not related at all. But I wasn't going to do anything. But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, this woman, it's funny how certain black people keep up a hoochie appearance for a long time, as long as they can.
Yes, way past the time that they should.
Yeah. And this woman, I was talking to her, and I wasn't hitting on her. I really was not. But I was like looking at her like, damn, she's all right. Turns out she's like 60-something years old, man.
Whoa, shit, dude.
But got purple hair, some maroon color of that, wearing fucking hoochie clothes and shit. And I was just like, wow. And then she even asked me when I left, she's like, well, give me your number so anytime I'm in Austin, I can give you. I was like, shit, on the one hand, I this could be innocent and she could just want to have somebody. On the other hand, she probably would take this a little further and if she catches me at the wrong moment.
See, that's why I would worry about you. I'm glad you had the presence of mind to realize that much.
Yeah, I had to like say this woman's like 60-something years old. There was a woman. And I can see why white people are scared when black people move into the neighborhood, because there's just, to use a word that Cyrus likes to use, there are tertiary Negroes who hang around. Because for some reason, a big group of black people get together like at this family reunion, and you know everybody, but then you'll see like about 5 or 6 black people who are not with your group, and you don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
And they are some of the craziest looking people too.
Yeah. Or when it's something where most people have their shit together, but then there'll be a group of teenagers or teenagers or 20-somethings, and they're wearing shorts and white socks and slippers. It's like, you're not at home. You really wore slippers?
Yeah. Flip flops and shit.
Yeah. Not even flip flops. Just really like house shoes. Like shit that you only wear around your house.
Well, man, this dude, there were about 3 brothers that I saw who hanging around. One looked to be like in his 50s, but he had on, now check this out, and because I made sure I took notice of this, he had on like a fluorescent green shirt, some white shorts, some Gucci shades at nighttime he was wearing.
Yeah.
And a Gilligan's hat. And I'm just like, where the fuck did he come from? It's like, he's not with us, but he's been here since I've been in this hotel.
Yeah.
And has been in the vicinity. I don't know where he came from. And then there was another, and I'm not lying about this. This dude did look like this because I was in the elevator. I remember him saying like, he's like, is the pool still open? And because we were going to the same floor. And he's like, is the pool still open? I was like, I don't know. I just got here, but you're going to the 3rd floor too, right? And he's like, yeah, but the pool is there though. It's like, what you doing? I was like, I'm at a family reunion. He's like, you're not with that? And he's like, no, brother, I'm just here. And I'm just like, here with what? Because every time I'm in the room, you were there, Did you just show up because you knew that there was a strong black energy going on right here?
Wherever people are, that's where I show up.
That's where I am. And there was another dude who was actually with him. They were like kind of the same group, had no hair, none, but somehow had a ponytail.
Oh.
It's like when I say it was like pin the tail on the black man or something, it was like, because there was nothing, it looked like it wasn't attached to anything. It looked like it was glued to his head. I was like, where's that fucking rat tail coming from?
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a perm looking rat tail. It's like, what the fuck? Where are you guys really coming from?
Yeah.
I'm like, what dimension did y'all step out of? What dimension of strange black people did you emerge from? Because this doesn't look right. And we had a good time though, man. I have to say, for me not wanting to go by the end of the night. But that's the thing that I told them at the end of the night. They were like, hey, because my cousin like, hey, cousin, you coming back next year? And I was like, probably not, but I will. If you're nearby, I will come by and drink with you like this.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what happened. At the end of the night, we all got together with a small group and we all drank. And I had fun doing that. But when I walked in, they were doing this whole thing of like, we now want to have Sister Carrie get up and do an interpretive dance. And I was like, oh, fuck this, man. I ain't trying to hear all this shit. Oh, now we're going to like have testimony from people who have achieved things in their lives and want to share with everybody. We get 2 minutes each, There's like 60 people want to get up there and do that.
They can't have the drinking before that, because then you get people yelling, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, all that kind of shit. So I'm sorry, I'm just not down with that, man. I don't know half these people, and I don't want to, I don't want to do it. If that makes me seem like an asshole, then that's fine. I just don't.
It don't make you seem like one to me. Nah, if you want somebody to make you feel guilty, I'm the wrong person to talk to.
Well, thank you, because I don't. If anything, you're making me feel pretty good about it right now. And then I don't know if I should put up this video. I got this video of these 2 kids. I might put it up. I don't know if it's illegal to do that though. There was at the end of the night, I videotaped these 2 kids out there just dancing. These kids are probably like around 7 years old.
Yeah.
And one kid is just getting down. But the other thing is, there's another kid. This kid has a mohawk. He looks like a little mini Kanye West. Okay. He had a mohawk, these like green shades on.
I mean, Kanye West is pretty mini on his own.
Yeah. Maybe that was Kanye West. But it was one kid who was just like dancing, and the little mini Kanye West looking guy was kind of walking around like he was his security. He was kind of walking around like he was peeing on everything. Like he was trying to do some kind of dance, but he I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He really wasn't dancing. He was like, it was almost like, yeah, I'm gonna let this dude like really dance, but I'm gonna be the cool one, just kind of, just do a little thing right here, walk around, do a little thing right here. But the whole time his fucking hip was stuck out like he was like marking territory around his kid. I got to put this video up, man. I'm gonna show people this video when we post this podcast. So we get fucking sued. I just say, hey, we're family.
Right. Yeah, like that's gonna fly.
Hey, how you doing though, man? I mean, sitting up here talking crazy.
Hey, man, I'm doing all right. It's been a decent weekend.
Has it?
Yeah.
Had some good pizza.
Had some good pizza. I've been hanging out with some friends, a bunch of friends, the whole weekend. Put together some IKEA furniture. I hung out with Carlisle last night. He said to tell everybody hi that despite what you're saying, you won't be back. He's saying he will pop in a couple weeks.
He ain't coming back. I'm telling you. And
honestly, his thing was what he said to me. Whether you choose to believe him or not, he said he wanted to give us a chance to reestablish ACOCO as our own. So people won't keep like,
it was that before because he wasn't talking about this. I like the people that got mad at us who would like come in and be like, it's so unfair. You won't let him talk. I was like, fuck you. Ain't nobody holding him back. They're making it sound like we sitting up there like two Negroes just came in and took over and they got Carla back there tied up in a chair. It's just like, come on, man.
Well, the one beef that somebody mentioned that I thought was legitimate, I even told him, is that but by the time we get to the top 5, we're talking about the movies. You and I have already exhausted our opinions on the site, and at least he came in with one that was different from our own.
I agree with that.
And it wasn't just, not only was it a separate opinion, but we usually wildly disagree with what he had to say.
So what, they thought like we were ganging up on him and shit?
No. It's just like, okay, like say Transformers comes out and we all give it a rental or some old bullshit or fuck you. Yeah. Whereas he liked it. So they miss having that guy who came in and spoke for the idiots who liked it. I mean, for the people who liked the movie.
You know what? I did enjoy that aspect of him being on here. It's like he always, because that's what it turned into. It's like, hey man, so people get a chance to hear your opinion. What did you think about that? And then it was kind of gave some fresh perspective on that.
And usually that was the point when I would have to kind of step away or hold my tongue because he'd be liking something. I'd be like, are you out your fuck? No, you know what? This is his moment. Let him have it. I already said mine. Shut up.
I remember you had those moments because you were like, you one time you even I tried to stay quiet and you were like, hey man, you help me out here. Can you believe this shit he's saying? I was like, damn, man. I was like, so she gonna drag me into it. I was like, yes, Carla, that is crazy. That makes no sense. Normally this would just be, people thinking that I'm being contrary to you, but now you got two people here, and I have to tell you, you are out your fucking mind.
But no, we hung out last night and it was fun. He says he will be back in 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I will welcome that. Yeah. Seriously, but I don't buy it right now.
He said he has fun doing the show.
Well, I mean, yeah. Hey, look, he actually, with me and him, got this whole podcast train going, this weekly thing. It was kind of him saying, "Hey, let's do this."
Right.
Let's do this, but let's do this.
No, that's true. I guess we wouldn't even be doing podcasts if not for him.
Well, let's not go that far. We would have been doing something, I'm sure.
Well, okay.
But he's the one.
He's the one who got it started.
Yeah, he is. He said, "Let's do a podcast," and a weekly podcast, and so of course, man, he's the one that thought up the name and everything. So I'm just kind of like, why would he not be able to come on? I ain't fucking standing up there like, no, right. you left. Yeah. You left us.
Nobody quits me.
And now you come walking back. Nah, man, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I just said, I know how things go. It's like, man, you're gonna get so busy.
Right.
You think you're gonna have time because that's what everybody thinks, and you're gonna get so busy with what you're doing that you're not gonna have time to do it.
It's like when one of my friends either gets married or their wife is pregnant, about to have a baby, and I'll be like, hey man, well, it's been nice hanging out with you. Hey man, this is not gonna change things. We're gonna still hang out. And I'm like, okay, it's cute that you think that.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't understand. And sure enough, I don't see him for 2 years.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself. Yeah. So that's all I was doing.
Yeah. I understand.
I will not be hurt again. So, hey, man, speaking of Spill.com, before we go any further, I want to thank Manny out there.
Manny S?
Manny S.
Man, fucking Manny S is awesome.
Yeah, he gave me a compilation of Eerie
Yeah.
horror anthologies.
Yeah, I saw that up there. It's
back
nice.
from like I think the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
The 70s and 80s actually, I believe.
It's more it's mostly 70s.
Yeah.
Most of that stuff, and like really early through mid or late 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they did. I know some of it went on because eerie. They had eerie.
Well,
creepy.
it did go into the 80s. I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the collection you have. I believe is all stuff from the 70s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It was Jim Warren was the publisher, and he did eerie, creepy, 1984, and he hired a bunch of Filipino artists, and those guys were all fantastic.
Yeah, they were amazing.
You get writers like what's his name, Bruce Jones, and some big time science fiction writers. But
and then they had
Vampirella was another one of his books.
Vampirella, I remember that. Yeah, they were kind of heavily influenced by EC Comics.
Yes.
They
kind of took over where EC Comics left off.
Yeah, and he sent me that because he heard me talking about an American artist that they had a lot on there, Bernie Wrightson.
Oh yeah, Bernie. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. I heard you talking about Bernie Wrightson, and I was telling you, how he blew his hand out doing Frankenstein. That was like that master work. That was like his last big thing. Like, he had to change his art style up because. But there's another artist, John Totalman, who I think you would like also. If you
really?
Want. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, I want to get that. I'm going to order that Frankenstein, man. That Frankenstein is amazing. They actually got it like they have it all together now because I've been going online and just looking at all the pictures and everything. It is insane. So I'm about to like fucking get that, man, before they take that shit out of print. That, and I was reading. You can read some of it online. I couldn't find a digital where you could read the whole thing digitally online. Yeah. Frankenstein, but I did find some cool Bernie Wrightson stories that he did, like in Creepy. Like they turned one into Masters of Horror. You remember the Masters of Horror series?
Yes.
That came out, and John Carpenter did one of them, and they had what's his name? The Italian horror director,
Argento.
Dario Argento.
Uh-huh.
Dario Argento did. He filmed a version of a story in Creepy called Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
That Bernie Wrightson illustrated.
Okay.
And have you ever read it?
No, I haven't.
It's really not. The story it's a weird story. It's not all that great.
Yeah.
But the artwork in it is incredible, and the story is just weird.
Okay.
It's about a guy who finds a deformed girl out in the woods, and somehow she just I don't know, she has like this hidden power to just like manipulate men.
Yeah.
Despite her hideous figure.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's starting to sound familiar because I read a lot of Bernie Wrightson drawn stuff back in the day, like a lot of his Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that guy's amazing, and it's funny. I can tell he blew his hand out because his artworort isn't as detailed as it was back in the day. But then again, who has time to like make another 7-year project like Frankenstein?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't know who we're talking about, Bernie Wrightson is as an artist back, heavily influenced by the cross-hatching style of drawing and etchings and whatnot.
Yeah, man. I used to know, like, he's influenced by one of the classic illustrators. I almost want to say Arthur Rackham might be who it is, but don't quote me on that. But
he did a book about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and the whole thing is like illustrated in this heavily detailed like crosshatch style. I mean, these things are amazing, and it's like pages full of just I know there's one scene they show like Frankenstein's lab, and it's just
that's the one. That's
the one that blew his hand out.
Well, it's one of those pieces where you go like, you know what? If this is the last piece of art I could ever create, like I signed a deal with the devil who said, okay, I'm gonna allow you to make this Frankenstein portfolio the best thing you ever done, but you could never draw again. If you knew it was going to turn out like this, you might go ahead and sign the deal.
Yeah, I think he did. And the devil took his hand right after that. I'll take this. My hand, Shit, what do you think I was playing with you? But he did that. He's Stephen King's favorite artist.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah, Stephen King used him to like do some illustrations.
For Creepshow. He drew Creepshow.
He did Creepshow. He did like the comic adaptation of Creepshow, and he also did some illustrations for The Stand.
Oh, did he?
And I think he might have done one or two for the Gunslinger series.
Okay.
So yeah, Stephen King loves this guy. Yeah, there's another thing that he did called Freak Show. You ever seen that story that he did? I forgot what it was, published in Heavy Metal.
Yeah, I think I did, because I was really reading heavy metal back in the day.
I don't know, man. I just all of a sudden just became I was infatuated by Bernie Wrightson when I found out that he did a lot of those illustrations for Creepshow, because I had that Creepshow book.
Yeah,
so Creepshow is one of my favorite movies. I don't know what I did with that book, and I'm like all upset now that I can't find it. You can look at it online though. I went online, just saw a bunch.
Man,
of
you were all
books.
about this online comic stuff.
I feel like an asshole because you came in today and you asked me. You said. Because Leon got me Why the Last Man.
Yeah, just the first volume. See if you like it.
Yeah, and I did. And I enjoyed it very much. And then we start talking about reading comics digitally, drawing digitally. I was talking about how, man, I don't draw on paper anymore. Fuck paper. You know, I was like, man, I want to sketch digitally. Now I'm thinking about getting an iPad so I can sketch, because I don't feel like ruining the environment. I don't feel like cluttering. My biggest thing is, like, I don't feel like cluttering my place.
Sure.
With drawings.
And I understand. I was telling you, it's like, man, now these days when we have that Hoarders TV show, if you watch that show, even if your apartment is clean, you watch that show, you start throwing away shit that you need.
Oh, man.
You're like, I got to get rid of this TV. I got to get rid of these pots and pans. I can't turn into one of those people.
That is exactly what it is, because I did the biggest dick move you could ever do. You're like, hey, man, you told me, it's like, I got the rest of these Why the Last Man if you want to read them. I was like, are they digital? And you like,
I know, it was like, hey man, I will give you the entire graphic novel series, and you're like, well, if it's not digital, I don't want it.
Like, thank you, but no thank you.
Okay.
And I had to say, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like that, because I was thinking like, oh, more stuff. It's just going to clutter my place up. The next thing you know, I'm going to be old Corey living in trash. I'm going to turn to John, my roommate.
You're the anti-Gollum. You don't want the ring. Like, no. But sorry, precious. Gollum needs space.
I know. Gollum enjoys his cave like it is. Is the ring digital? I don't want it. But man, yeah, so I will read those, but I felt, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that way. I am all about reading comics digitally and all that kind of stuff, and I know people be like, man, you don't enjoy the book in your hand. Like, no, I don't. All right, you know, I'm that kind of guy where I like being able to walk in my room and be like, space. You know.
You know what? I hear that, and yet I still really enjoy just holding a comic book in my hand and reading it.
Yeah, no, I do too. I mean,
I bought a super pad, you know, an Android like knockoff of an iPad, and it's not, it doesn't have that much processing power. But I mostly got it just so I could read comics digitally. Okay. And I started doing it, and I was like, yeah, I still prefer reading them on paper. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the extreme that you are. It's like okay. For example. Like everybody knows I get Game Informer magazine, and it's still something about. I've gone back to like reading at night before I go to bed. Like, I'll get the magazine and I look forward to like being able to like shut down the computer and read it. I haven't felt that way in a while, but at the same time, I've still like realizing like, man, I don't have crates and crates of stuff.
No. There's certainly something to be said for that, because I know like now like all those long boxes of comics that I have that I've treasured for so long. It's like I don't really want these in my house anymore. And yet, you take a long box of comics to, you're like, I'll check out the half-price books. They will say, oh, that's nice. Here's a $5 bill.
Yeah.
You're like, the fuck? There's like $400 worth of comic books
and
in here.
And they know that, man. You get ripped from
you pack these things up and take them all the way over there, and then you got a decision to make, because you're like, you guys have insulted me with this price, and yet my goal is to get them out of my house.
Yeah. and
fine.
And it's just sad because they know that you want to get rid of it. They know you. First of all, you made the trip over there.
Exactly.
And like this, he ain't turning back.
I know. I'm like, man, if I could just find, a kid who would love these, I would give them all of it. Just like not even a kid, like just a person who would actually like love them and treasure them, or not even love them, just like somebody who wants to read. Because I think my really getting into comics, there was a family that moved across the street from me when I was young. I think I must have been like 7th or 8th grade. And, they had two sons about my age, and the dad collected lots of old Marvel comics from the 60s. He's like, yeah, I got all these comics, and, you can read them. You take some home when you want to, just read. And, like, it was all this stuff from the 60s I never knew existed. So this was like a treasure to me. And I just, like, totally got involved in the whole world. I was like, man.
So was that your jumping point into comics?
I mean, I was already into comics because I was mostly into cartoons.
Yeah.
And that was what really put me into comic books, like into the lore of comic books.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, man, I would love to be able to do that.
That's what turned into a nerd.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the more I talk, the more I'm like, wait a minute, maybe that wasn't a good thing.
So it turned into a fiend.
I mean, all right, well, considering like now, okay, I'm running the Leog and I kind of get paid to do it, so it eventually worked out. But
yeah, it all came around.
Yeah, but for the longest time,
500 years later. But yeah, as long as you got there, yeah, man.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where like, man, I would much rather just go to somebody who would really appreciate it, just give them to them, rather than just let these assholes give me.
Of course, except when you gave it to that kid, you still be like, "Where's my $5?" I don't have $5. Give me that shit, then. Go home and get $5, bitch. Yeah, man, I know what you mean. I thought the same way. Like I have a crate full of comics back there, and I don't imagine myself ever selling them.
It used to be like a comic book store would buy them from you for a good price, but now there's no money in back issues anymore.
Exactly. So I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just keeping this as memories, and it's a few of them are for bragging rights.
It is like, man, I want to clear the space, but somebody brought up like some things are just like you don't want them, but they're too valuable to throw away. So it puts you in that limbo, like, fuck, what do I do?
See, the problem with me is like I place value on weird things. Well, actually, just really one weird thing. It's like if something has been with me for a long period of time, I'm talking about it could be months.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about years. All of a sudden, I have an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
I could blow my nose and put a piece of tissue down, and if that tissue has been there for like about 3 months, I'm gonna be like, oh, I've had this for 3 months already. Me and this snotty tissue right here have been through a lot.
Okay. that predicts you may become a hoarder someday.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Yeah. I got rid of so much shit, and I had to realize, like, just pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Just with, like, I scribbled just notes on. I was like, I was scared to throw it away because I was like, oh, I remember when I wrote this note back when I was doing this thing in my life, and it's just like, I'm fucking crazy. I need to stop. I just threw a bunch of stuff away, man. And I said, and I looked up and I was like, I'm never going back again. So I was like, yeah. When I saw hoarders, I was like, they're. All right, I'm not a hoarder that type. I'm not going to exaggerate, but I was like, something? I see a lot of these people though, who are like old or elderly or older, and I was like, well, I say that now, but
you say that now.
By the time I'm like 60,
and with a lot of those people,
crazy.
Something happened, like somebody died, and they went into a depression, and that's often what triggers it.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get into the habit of like.
So if I see you going that way, I'm going to invite you out to something. I'm going to have somebody come in here, or I will come in here and just throw half your shit away.
Well, you have to walk through all your shit first to get to me. I was coming over there, but I couldn't find the door. All these comics. I can't depart with these. Hey, man, I got something here for you. You want to know what it is?
What's that?
It's the top five. Brought to you by Spill. Yeah, man, it's about that time. Somebody said that these shows would probably get a little longer when Carlisle was gone.
Yeah, I guess they're full of more bullshit. How do you not get tired of bullshit? You and co-host with bullshit for 3 or 4 hours.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. I just realized doing these podcasts, you talk about looking back on your life and like not wanting to hoard or looking at things that you just did that you want to fix in your life. Or you look back on things that you saw that you were. Yeah. And you just had to own up to like, I do this, I am this kind of person. I look back on these podcasts and I'm just like, I just talk shit and I just talk meaningless shit. And I talk about nothing.
It is quite humorous that I was brought onto this show so that you could take a graceful exit and leave. What ended up happening was Carlisle left, and now we do an even longer show.
Longer show, yeah. Yeah, I was going to like, this is going to like help me like clear my schedule up a little bit, and what I do end up just talking more shit.
Oh, so, well.
Yeah. No, well. Speaking of talking shit,
the number 5 movie.
Yes. Oh wow, look at you on top of things. Look, I didn't even have to prompt you for that.
I can take my cue sometime.
Bad Teacher.
Oh,
your favorite film.
Still in there.
Of the summer.
Well, let's not go that far.
Cameron Diaz in an R-rated raunchy comedy. Everybody's jumping on board that raunchy comedy.
Hell yeah.
The raunchy train has some money in it, man.
Clearly.
Yeah. And Warner Brothers, more than anybody realizes that, but this is not a Warner Brothers movie. This is a a Sony film. But we'll talk about more about this trend of rated R raunchy comedies in a little while, because there's a lot of advantages to them. Not just in money, but there's a lot of other things that just benefit the audience. People like you and I.
Oh, how so?
Well, I will get to that in a little while.
Okay.
Bad Teacher brought in, this weekend, $9 million.
Okay.
Its gross is now, y'all would too. I'd take $10 out of that shit. It'd be fine with me. $9 million. Its gross is now $78.8 million.
Damn.
Yeah, the movie has done
a movie they spent no money on.
It cost $20 million to make. 3 weeks later, it is up to almost $80 million.
God damn. And you know they got Jason Segel for $13,000.
Yeah, and got him fat on that too. He was. Now, did he get fat for that movie, or is he just getting fat? Period?
I don't think he got fat for that movie. I mean, he's never been a thin guy. I've never seen him in something where I thought he was thin. I've seen him in some things where I thought he might have been thinner for a little bit. Like, I want to say he was thinner in what was that movie? That bromance movie?
I Love You, Man.
Yeah, I Love You, Man. Maybe he was, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just looking at a progression of just his head alone. I'm like, this dude's head is just getting bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, have you noticed that? Like his?
Yeah, no, I did notice that. I mean, I don't know. He's on that list of guys where I go like, wow, he's popular, and I can't understand why.
I can understand why, because he just has. I mean, even when he's acting like crazy in movies, he just kind of has like a really grounded, sweet nature about him.
Yeah, I just don't find him
relatable.
I don't find him really entertaining or talented at all.
Really?
He's just kind of there.
I like him. I don't know what it is about him, but I like him. Okay. He just seems like a guy that's just real cool to hang out with. Like he just, he's probably an asshole in real life. I don't know. He might be, but he
never strikes me with anything that pushes him over into he'd be real cool to hang out with.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
he's just kind of like, I understand what you're saying, but he seems generic in that way.
Really? To me, that makes him, like I just said, the industry term is relatable. I don't know. All I know is in the movie he plays like a gym coach,
right? Who's
going after Cameron Diaz in the movie, her bitchy character in the movie. I'm like, you know what? If they ever made kids, if you remember home movies, if they ever made a live action version, he'd make a great Coach McGurk.
Yeah, he would.
And I like him. I don't know, man. I like him. He's starting to like one of the Muppets he starred with in the movie, though. He's looking kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, speaking of Muppets, real quick.
Yeah.
What was the Muppet that was a shrimp?
I forgot, but he was one of those the new age Muppets. He was the one that was in the new version of the Muppet Show.
That's the answer on a crossword I'm working. And if I could get that figured out, I could work this whole thing.
The Scampy fit?
Yeah,
it doesn't fit. Okay, you even tried.
No, it's something with 4 letters and starts with a C.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, maybe somebody knows out there.
Okay, yeah. So somebody, they're gonna start giving you the answer now. Yeah, I never knew that shrimp's name, man. He was on the new Muppet Show.
Okay.
And I wasn't a huge fan of the new Muppet Show.
Gotcha.
Did you ever see the new Muppet Show?
No, I didn't.
It just didn't capture the
Muppets Tonight. Is that the one?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad. It was just, man. I just loved the original Muppet Show so much.
Well, the Muppet Show was one of those shows where I liked it, and I watched it several times back when it was on. But I didn't fall in love with it the way everybody else I know did.
See, the Muppet Show has laid down a format that a lot of people don't
want to copy. I mean,
Gary Shandling show.
Well, yeah, it was the show within a show.
Yes.
And I hear people all the time when they're pitching something they want to do, a new project, they say, "Well, it's a show within a show."
It's like it's the Muppet Show.
Yeah, it's like, well, there was a time when that was innovative. Back when SCTV did it.
Oh yeah, SCTV did it too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we even pitched a show like that.
Hell, we did.
Yeah,
that's how I know how unoriginal it is.
Yeah,
people came after me. I'm like, oh wow, is that how I sounded? Damn.
You remember that time that we tried to? That guy from the Effects Channel came in,
man,
and he got pissed because people got to listen to this.
Well, it was from Fox, not FX.
It was. I thought it was from the Effects Channel.
Are you talking about when you drove to Dallas, or
no, when we drove to Dallas?
Oh, shit. Was it at FX?
Chip set up that meeting.
No, I remember that. I can't remember if that guy was from FX or not.
He was from FX.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a different channel, but go ahead.
People check this out. Man, Leon was funny here because
before we got Spill started.
Yeah,
back when we were some young Access hopefuls.
Yeah,
we were like, we got to break out of this ghetto and turn this show into something.
And Chip was like, you guys got to meet this guy from Effects Channel. I even told you at the time. I was like, man, I know how this shit goes.
Yeah.
I was like, but you can't. You just can't say no to anything.
You can't
right
pass
now.
up an opportunity because you never know.
Yeah, so I wasn't even disappointed when we went out there, and if my hopes were high, it would have been grounds for being very disappointed, because I remember we went up there and met with that guy. Guy kept us waiting, first of all, and then we sat down and talked to him, and we told him what we did on our show. We said we are a movie review / comedy show.
Which supposedly he had watched the show and was a fan of it.
No, because he was from. No, he didn't know.
I know he wasn't from here, but supposedly, I mean, Chip sold me on it. Like, this guy has seen the show. I've shown him tapes, and he likes the show.
He didn't see that show.
Well, yeah.
I can tell you right now, he didn't see.
It was clear that either he had never seen it, or if he had, he was like mentioned like, hey, so you like the show? He's like, oh yeah, sure, it's fine.
Yeah, no, that guy told us. He's like, yeah, because we told him the show's a movie review show, it's a comedy show. We had these ideas kind of stay around the same format. Hey, it's like the Muppet Show. It's a show, and it's a show. Anybody? He was like, I'm thinking about doing a show about Texas and Texas culture, like maybe something around Austin, because Austin's so unique. There's nothing really out there like that. And you said King of the Hill, and he was just like, so where did you get that BlackBerry from? I mean, I'm gonna make you just start talking about anything but the show. Like, yeah, let's go see if we can find one of those here at the mall, because we met him at the mall.
That's right.
And that was the first sign of like things going bad. Like, we met him at the mall. I was like, really, at the food court in the mall?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. And then after that, I think you had what did you have, a BlackBerry or something, or a pager or something?
I think maybe a Wizard, because I never had a BlackBerry.
Okay, it was some device.
Yeah,
It was like
some